All right, hello, this is Thomas from Medieval Review, and I'm here with Tim from Sabersmith. We are looking at their booth at the Blade Show in Atlanta for 2016. You guys have a lot of very interesting items. It caught my eye. I was at the Georgia Renaissance Festival just a couple days ago, and I was there last year, and I think it was the first time you guys had shown up at that fair. I might be wrong. But what really caught my eye about your different blades, not just swords, is that it's kind of this interesting mix of new technology, new ways of creating swords, very modern, but at the same time has a very, only way I can think to put it is a dark age aesthetic to it. Slightly fantasy, slightly grounded in reality, and it is extremely unique. I don't know I've ever quite seen anything like it. And so all these pieces are really unique and interesting. I find them very interesting. And there's a ton of them right behind us here. But you have one right here in front of us, so I figured I'd let you talk about it and say what you will. It looks like quite a great sword. So what about this one?
Thanks, Thomas. I appreciate that. We have been at the Georgia Renaissance Festival since 2002. So, and I'm glad you came by and saw our booth. I appreciate that. This is one of our premium pieces. It's our version of a Claymore, and so it's a 1075 high carbon steel blade. This one is acid etched. We have a tempered garden pommel and leather finish on the blade. A sword like this would sell for approximately $1,200 to $1,500. All of our swords are handmade at our shop in Michigan. This particular piece takes us approximately 90 to 120 hours to produce.
Wow, yeah, that's a lot of time. And just looking at it, again, speaking to the aesthetics of it, it kind of reminds me, just you said it's Claymore, it reminds me a little bit of the William Wallace Braveheart sword. Sure. In terms of the leather wrapping on the ricasso. But then that's only about as far as it goes there in terms of the general, call it the silhouette or the profile, because the rest of it, again, becomes very unique, specifically the pommel. I was wondering if you could actually speak to the way that is crafted and done.
Well, we're trying to incorporate different elements that people are identifying with. So, here in this country, a lot of people, recognize the Crusader style stuff. So we used a cross form in the pommel. You're gonna have a lot of critics who are gonna say, well, that's not period, or that's not appropriate to this particular sword. That doesn't really faze us. We've had a lot more praise than we've had criticism. The style that I try to do is I try to take a traditional piece and then put our own spin on it. Because what happens is you go to the mall and there are replica swords there, right? And then you go to a Ren fair, or you get online and you find hand makers and they're making period swords, right? That look very similar to the ones you see in the mall. The ones in the mall are $50 to $100. The ones you see from the hand makers are into the thousands. So to the novice, they may not necessarily understand. It may turn them off. Obviously, they're going to default to the cheaper one. So education is a big part of it. For that reason, I decided that it would probably be a good idea to take a traditional form and then put our own style and spin on it. And that's where you're noticing, well, I recognize this, but that's different, or that's new, or that's a modern kind of a twist. It seems to be working in our favor. That doesn't mean that we can't produce a replica sword. We have a custom order program, and you provide us the drawings, you provide us a photo, and as long as I don't feel like I'm stepping on someone's copyright, I'll make it for you.
All right, cool. And yeah, certainly, it is a thing that's very common in the sword community, sword crafters community. You end up really ending up with two camps of people. You have the people who are looking for that exact historical recreation, and you're looking for people who put their own spin on it. And that's certainly what you guys done here. And like I said, it's like the silhouette looks like one thing, but then if you were to actually look at it a little closer, it's suddenly very unique and very eye-catching. And like I said, you can see all these behind us. Each one is really quite beautiful in its own right, and I love the style that you guys have, because it really is. It's very modern, but at the same time it's not. And you're not just going for that pure, call it tactical look, but you're letting it be feeling a little bit more dark ages, but it's not historical. And I think that's actually great. It means you guys have a chance for artistry, you have a chance to do really your own thing. And that's what I like seeing in a lot of this, is that your own unique spin on each and every one of these swords, whether it's from an Asian influenced culture or slightly medieval, right? So really, really beautiful stuff. All right.
Let me show you an example of something like, okay, the Viking series. Everyone's seen that, right? It's popular.
Yeah, I'm watching that right now.
Ragnar Lothbrok, right? Yeah. So, you know, in an effort to capitalize on that, we have bearded axe, and you know, it's quite simple. This would be a piece that we would sell for the neighborhood of $400. But, you know, again, capitalizing on what's popular. Right. Is this a period bearded axe? Absolutely not. But is it a cool bearded axe? Absolutely. And it's not only is it an original design, fully functional, all our work's guaranteed for life. You can see us at Facebook, use Sabersmith Inc., or our website, sabersmith.com. That site needs a little work, but you can still visit us and contact us from there.
And I'll make sure to put that link down in the description of this video so you can go check out their work online. Tim, I appreciate it. It has been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Again, beautiful stuff, really interesting. Keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thomas. Thank you very much.
Have a good one. Bye.
Take care.